right, y'all with me? All right. Hey, listen. That's what I'm talking about. We in the house. We are in the house. Boy, I tell you. Hey, Cleveland, check this out. This is that time of the day. That time of the day. You got the best show on the air.
The best.
The best, am I right?
The best.
Hey, listen, we are uncut. We are uncensored. We are uncut and uncensored. And we gonna talk about it today. That's what we do. Ain't I right, y'all?
That's what we do.
That's what we do. I'm your boy. I'm D Boogie. And I'm in the house with my folks. We gonna go counterclockwise over here. This way. Introduce everybody up in this zone.
Okay,
What's going on, baby? Talk to him.
Hey, what's up? This is Akira, also known as Tender. You're listening in to Uncut Uncensored. We're ready to talk about it.
Talk about it. We got my main man in the house. Co-host Kane.
Hey, this co-host Kane. You can catch me on IG as Kane_Kane Creates. On Facebook, Kane's Corner. And we're on 95.9. We about to talk about it today, y'all. We is about to talk about it today.
95.9 FM. I got to stand up for the next introduction.
No, you ain't got to do all that. Hold on, drum roll.
You got to stop.
Don't do that now. Don't do that.
They're beautiful.
Okay, I'll go with that. Yeah, I'll go with that.
They're lovely.
Did you stop the music?
No?
Oh, okay.
It just stopped in your head, you know.
All right. I saw lights.
It always pause for you at this time. Just pause for a minute. That's all. You got the love. T in the house. Miss Tasha, what's happening, baby?
What's up, world? Y'all listening to Uncut Uncensored. It's your girl, Tasha, in the house. Listen, y'all can find us on IG at uncut.uncensored. Then y'all can flip over to YouTube, like, check, share, please, and subscribe. Listen, y'all can drop your comments, your thoughts, your love mail, your hate mail, whatever mail you want to drop it on YouTube at Relationship Talk Uncut Uncensored. Also, cop the app, WOVU.org. And I think that I covered it all.
You did great. You covered it all.
Okay.
All right, so y'all, let's check this out. Show gonna be hot today. It's gonna be great.
As always.
As always. Make sure you do this. If you get a chance, later on, tomorrow, Mr. Carter is a videographer. So we're gonna have it set up on YouTube by tomorrow, go on YouTube, Relationship Talks, Uncut Uncensored, and check us out. You're going to love what you see, because these are beautiful people in here.
Yes.
And it's going to be all the way live.
Yes.
But I think somebody might have been talking to somebody.
Because I'm always talking to somebody.
Always talking to somebody? What we talking about today?
I'm always telling somebody's business, but I don't put their name on blast. But actually, this one was not a matter of business telling. So I was doing a little research, gathering up some information, doing some observations. So I'm posing this question. This one here is going to actually take some deep reflecting, and it's going to take some honesty. This might be a tough topic. I can't get my words out. This might be a real tough topic for a lot of people, because you got to get real with yourself.
Right.
So marriage is a beautiful thing.
It is.
It is. It's beautiful when
Yes.
done correctly. Let me put that out there. When done correctly. We got a lot of people jumping to the altar, jumping to the I do's, and then it's over with. I'm an example of that. I have no shame in my game. I believe transparency is healing. And you know what? Y'all can't do nothing to me.
You know what? Because everybody got their own stuff. So
Hey, I just believe in putting my own business on blast. That way you can't put it on blast. So with that being said and done, the question is, have you actually seen a healthy marriage model before you? Have you actually seen, or have you had an example of a healthy marriage model before you? Maybe your parents, maybe siblings, maybe friends, maybe family. So some of you may be asking, well, why is that important? I'm glad you asked. Well, the reason why it's important is because if you've never seen a healthy marriage / relationship model before you, how do you know what to do? How do you know how to make the right choice for a mate? How do you know what's worth putting up with and what you should absolutely not put up with? How do you know how to choose your battles? Because if you have grown up in a toxic home, and maybe some people don't know what toxic is. Maybe there's been verbal abuse, maybe there's been physical abuse, and maybe there's been emotional abuse. Okay, what is that?
Or even substance abuse.
Or substance abuse. Thank you, Kira. Absolutely. So now you go on through life and you think this is normal. So you get with a very bitter, angry, combative, manipulative woman because that's what you saw. Or
What?
I'm just saying.
Oh man, you sick, dude.
I'm coming for that.
Wow. Someone
I got
has
you.
growth.
Right, overnight.
Oh,
I'm coming to the dudes, because y'all, listen, y'all ain't getting away scot-free, of course. Or, for the ladies, maybe you had an absent father. Maybe you had an abusive father. Maybe you had a father who used drugs, alcohol. Maybe he was very promiscuous. Maybe he was a rolling stone. And he had 2 or 3 households. Yours was just one of many. I'm just saying, listen, this is happening. This is real. Papa might have been a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat. Was it? You might be never mind. Anyway,
That might be on which side? Which side?
I'm just saying you might be a byproduct of an affair, you know, who knows? But that's a whole nother. I'm just saying. So what happens? You end up having an affair with a married man or a married woman.
Oh, good.
But it's cycles. It's
Repeating?
you repeat the cycle.
No.
Because guess what? This is what you saw.
You hurting them like that? You stepping on.
She just poured it all
Listen,
out.
Can't say amen to that.
If you can, right.
Dump some more on.
I'm
Dump
just
some more on.
I'm just saying because this is what's happening here. Because if you've never seen it, you don't really know what to model.
Right,
and you think this is normal behavior.
Right.
You think it's okay to share your man. or your woman.
Man. Post some more on. Post some more.
I'm just saying, you think it's okay
I
that
came in
y'all
here
fight.
without water. I need water today. You got me too. I'm getting it
We
together.
laughing, but wait a minute, y'all. We laughing, but listen. Black folks, my brown and black folks, we are some of the most traumatized, dysfunctional people. We are.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, we are. It's uncut, it's uncensored.
Hey, from a family standpoint.
From a whole holistic standpoint. Mentally, emotionally, physically. We got some issues. We got some things that we dealing with, you know, from generations. And that's just the reality of the situation. And so we repeat the cycles. So we laughing, but this is real talk. So today we want to discuss it. Because if you've never seen a healthy relationship or healthy marriage model, maybe this is why you keep entering these abusive relationships. Maybe it's why you can't stay in a relationship. Maybe it's why you run from a relationship. I mean, I'm on a roll here. So,
Get everybody roll, ain't you?
listen. So listen, chime in, people. Drop your comments. Maybe you have experience in that. So listen, I'll put myself on blast again.
Hold on before you do that.
Go ahead.
Tasha said chime in. So make sure you want to chime in. You're going to do that through IG, folks. You're going to do it through IG. You're going to go to Uncut_Uncensored. Or is it Uncut.Uncensored? What is it? Uncut.Uncensored on IG. Chime in. We're going to take these IG calls and things of that nature. And go ahead, get finished.
So I'll start it off again because I believe in transparency, and I believe truth is healing. So for me, I didn't have very many healthy examples of healthy relationships and healthy marriages. You know, one of my favorite examples is my sister and my brother-in-law. You know, they've been together. Y'all, people have heard me talk about them, and if they listen, hey, kudos. Listen, they check the boxes.
What's his name? Man, Bruh.
Did you say man?
Bruh.
You know what?
No, Bruh.
No, not man.
Or bruh.
It's Bruh.
It is bruh.
Bruh.
It is.
What up, Bruh?
It is. But you know, they've been together for, I don't know, 30 some years. It's not that they have done everything right, and it's not that they are perfect. They just have the foundation laid. You know, there's healthy communication. There's still affection between the two of them. There's still intimacy between the two of them. How do I know that? Because I see it. You know, so this is not me making up stuff. they know how to maneuver and work through the difficult times and the rough patches. So I saw that example, but seeing other examples that were not very healthy, I had the mindset of, I ain't never gonna put up with that. That's never going to be me, and I wish a brother would. That was me. Try it if you want to. So you had no strikes, and you're out. If you even looked like you wanted to go the other way, it was a wrap.
You say no strikes.
No strikes, right. Normally people say one strike.
No strikes and no balls.
Listen, you heard me. Wow. I know, listen, it was harsh. That's
baseball, y'all, balls.
Baseball reference.
I'm familiar with the lingo.
She did look a little confused, right?
No, I'm looking like, wait, I just make sure y'all kept it clean when you said no strike, no ball. I was like, okay. Where we going with it?
Oh, God. But that's my example. And so having to get some clarity and some maturity about that, and realizing that that's not a very healthy approach. You have to, people are not perfect. So you have very unrealistic, high expectations when you've been around dysfunction. Mm-hmm. So you have to have very healthy expectations and very healthy boundaries. But if you've never seen it modeled, you're gonna kind of go from one extreme to the next, or you're just gonna repeat the cycle. That's what I say.
All right.
What are y'all thoughts?
Well, some things are just hard to follow up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just hard to follow up.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? So, what I'm gonna say is this: I'm gonna pass it on over to you.
Oh, you gotta stop this today, guys. For real? Okay, so this is how we doing this. All right, so
this is a tough one here.
You know what I'm saying? No, you know what? Hey, man, come back over here. I got it.
No. You okay? You know
nobody
what?
wants to put their own business on blast.
Well, it ain't
I agree because
business.
Yeah, and it's okay.
I mean, it ain't putting your business. It is what it is. Look, here's the thing. We huh?
just didn't pass it.
You ain't passing it.
I didn't pass it back.
I took it.
You hesitated too long.
He said you wasn't ready.
Okay.
He was giving you a minute.
All right,
Give me a minute.
give
Come
me
on back.
another one.
So
Okay.
listen, here's what it is though. On real talk, when we're talking about struggling with marriages because of things that you may have experienced or things you may have seen.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of times, from a black man perspective, we have been always taught to be a certain way. Always kind of tough, a provider, and things of that nature. And really try to. I ain't gonna say support the woman of the household, but you a man, so you run a household. Mm-hmm. So we've always been pretty much taught that type of thing. Now, my parents from the South, mm-hmm. and my mother and father were together to the day my father died. Mm-hmm. So so I always had two parents in the household. Mm-hmm. But even with that, I didn't get much guidance on how to be married.
Right.
How not only not how to treat a woman.
Right.
I got a little bit of that.
Right.
But how to be a man in a marriage.
There you go.
And so those type of things are not taught on. Mm-hmm. And then when you look at where you're coming from, did my father really know how to tell me that, even though he was that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So at some place, and I was married.
Yeah.
For years, and I was a decent husband.
Right.
Just decent. I could,
That's
you
real.
could consider me to be good by the things that it may have looked like I've done on the outside.
Right.
But as I've matured, I realized that I was just decent.
That's bold and big.
That is so real, man.
At best.
Oh, I love it.
At best.
Yeah.
So my interpretation of being a husband, mm-hmm. and and also as a husband, as the leader in the household, I diverted a lot of things over because of my companion or my wife. She had a little bit more aggression toward things. Yeah. So I kind of diverted a lot of things. I ain't want to piss off. I ain't want to get upset. I ain't want to put the hammer down all the time because. At times she was a loving wife. Yeah. So and then I personally just really didn't know. So I'll conclude a little bit later on this story as far as things that could have been done or things that should have been done. Yeah. But that was my situation, and my marriage failed.
Yeah.
It's okay. Hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah.
You learn when you know better, you do better.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so I take it back. All
If
right.
you're ready. No pressure.
Okay, so
I said it was gonna be let me say this again. I said this was gonna be a tough one, y'all. It's Uncut Uncensored. And the reason why I believe in transparency is because my story, our story, can help somebody else. And that's why we're here. But you do it at your pace. You let go of what no, for real. It's at your pace. But you know, like I say, transparency is healing. Nobody has a heaven or a hell that they can put me in but the one upstairs. Can't nobody judge me. And if you do, I don't really care no way.
right, that's the part.
So yeah, that's the part right there.
Right.
It's for me. It's the I don't care.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
There you go.
Okay, but
Well, you can take the mic back.
as far
You know what?
as
You know what?
you know what?
And before you do that, let's take a quick break.
Okay.
They want to hear what you got to say. Is that?
She was just getting ready.
I know. Co-host Kane, is that all right with you? We
That's
take a break.
all right. Let's take a
All right, we're gonna take a break. Keep letting you back in. All right. This is Uncut. This is Uncensored. We're Uncut and Uncensored. We welcome y'all back. Hey, listen, y'all, check it out real quick. Once again, if you got some comments, you got some things you want to share, get off your chest and things of that nature, you can go ahead and go down to IG, go to your Instagram, and go to uncut.uncensored. We got our phones up, so we ready for y'all. Go ahead, Kira. You said now. You know you got the mic. Go
She
ahead.
taking deep breaths. Woo! Man.
I'm sorry about
Okay,
that.
so I'm gonna go back to Tasha and her initial question. Have you seen an example of a healthy marriage? Now, growing up, you know, I considered one of my aunts and uncles an example of a healthy marriage until I became an adult and found out it wasn't quite that healthy. But,
Wow.
right, but they they endured through the long haul.
Wow.
However, right now, my example that I currently have is my friend Patrice and Chris. They have a healthy marriage, and I admire that.
Yeah.
But I do agree with what you said, Tasha, when you said if you don't know what it looked like, you kind of create your own thing. You try to just kind of do it yourself. And without the correct guidance, you can still have a successful marriage without having that example throughout your life. But it's just a matter of you submitting to me, for me. It's submitting to God and making sure He guides and leads you through each and every part of it. But, like Don, when you know better, you do better. Hindsight is 20/20.
Right.
We learn along the way. You want to be with somebody that's willing to grow with you and learn along the way with you. That's the bottom line. It can continue to be healthy, but everybody's growing and evolving. And if you're not evolving, shame on you. But everybody's growing and evolving. You have to get used to the new person you're with day to day.
Yeah.
And be able to grow and respect that person. But if you can't do that and you had no example, then that's when things get rocky.
Yeah. I would definitely I definitely agree with that. Like you said, you create your own, and in creating your own, we are all products of our environment. You know, be it a good environment or a bad environment. There's no escaping that. And what I have seen, even in my own life, if we gloss over or live in denial of what that environment was or is, we're going to repeat some of the things that was in our environment. You know,
and that's just naturally.
And that's
it doesn't
natural.
necessarily have to be with that. Yeah, it's anything in that environment.
Exactly.
Whether it's positive or negative.
Exactly.
You're going to pick those things up. That's how we learn. We learn to
Absolutely.
walk from looking at other people walk. We learn to talk from hearing other people talk. So naturally, you're going to pick that up.
Absolutely. I remember I had a conversation with my mother, and I said, y'all raised me to be strong, independent, you know, what I am and what I will not take. I said, but y'all kind of left out some real key ingredients. How to be like open, emotional,
They left
vulnerable.
that for real on you.
Yeah. No, but that's real talk. How to care. You know, for someone other than like my immediate family, how to let people in. You know, I didn't see that. You know, I didn't see the hugs and the kisses and the, you know, the connection, the intimacy. I didn't see that. So I was hard and I was strong and I was all those other things, but I was missing some real key ingredients. And I can be real and admit my stuff because, you know, I'm moving through it. I've moved through some of it, but I'm still moving through some other parts. But anyway, so again, repeating that. So you do what you've been taught. And that's with anything. You know, you do what you've seen. You do what was modeled.
I mean, that's just because that's all you know.
That's it.
But here's the beauty about this. You can always learn and you can always open yourself up to circumstances, people, books, anything to grow. Brother, wouldn't you agree? I mean,
The big thing that is challenging with marriage, that there is no marriage mentorship program normally. Because marriage is one of the few things that you enter into with no experience and expect it to be successful. Like, just make this work.
Right.
Like, what job they hire you, you don't know how to do the job whatsoever, and they don't train you. Like, name a job where, like, all right, bro, just go back there and figure it out. What? Okay. There's no job like that. There's no career. There's no nothing. I don't care what career path. You're a professional person. You work in an office. Somebody sits down, shows you, push this button, do this, call this. If you work with your hands, like if you're a carpenter, somebody showed you how to use the saw first.
Right.
With a marriage, all you're basically walking around is just walking around the shop watching people, but nobody's telling you what to do.
you get that little, quick consultation with the pastor, don't you?
All right, let me talk about that real quick.
Did you say a quick consultation?
Let me talk about that real fast. Let me talk about that real fast. I'm gonna keep this a buck. This might hurt some people's feelings.
Hey, if it hurts, say ouch.
So, I grew up in the church.
Not the church.
The church.
And in the church, it is better to marry than to bond.
Ooh.
So
now, what do you mean when you say burn? For the people who may not, you know, they didn't grow up in the church.
So that scripture is quoted to especially young people who have emotions and testosterone and things bubbling up. Oh! You got to get married, sons. You got to get married, dog, before you start acting on that. You got to get married. You can't just be out there willy with the nilly. You got to go. You got to get married. So it is encouraged for you to get married early. Go ahead and wrap that up, get that down, go ahead and put some rings on that. Yeah. But in a lot of times that counseling sessions that my brother said is quick, where they talk to you like, y'all good? All right, you know her, you like her, y'all love each other. All right, y'all be good. Versus just get you down there, because and I understand. I don't know how you gonna keep it together, but what happens is, and this is again, especially in the black community, someone doesn't sit down with you who is neutral to both parties and talk to you both individually, separately, take time to get you know both. Because sometimes if you have a third party talk to you, they might say, you know what, fam, I don't think this the one. Like, you grown, go do what you go do. Right. But in that one quick little session that you have, you ain't gonna get that.
Why y'all keep saying quick?
Bruh, that's what it is. It's quick. Cause I'm keeping it a buck. I've known, and I'll say this. Some pastors are different. Everyone's not cookie cutter. Some people have like severe marriage seminars where they sit down with couples and they bring the whole shebang out in front to make sure everything is exposed. Others don't. And this is the reason why others don't. They just, because they feel no matter what's going on, it's better for you to get married. Versus, maybe it's better for y'all to just stay single as a couple for now before we hitch that wagon. Because what traditionally, they are so concerned about things happen outside of wedlock. So they are so concerned to get you married. That's what they want to do so fast. Because you tell them, we want to get married. Well, let's go now. Well, hold up, maybe we should pause and hold, because if you want to get married now, you'll be wanting to get married 6 months from now, a year from now. Right. But if y'all still the same people, because let's investigate some things. Let's pull some things out, because this is the thing. If you get a person who has been harmed, psychologically,
Yeah.
physically,
Yeah.
emotionally, and they are hooking up with someone who might not have the same experiences that they had, and we don't expose that.
Yes.
And then you this person together, and you come from one type of household and they're from a different type of scenario, and you put these things together. Now it's crazy. Now one person's like, "Whoa, that's normal for you?
Right.
Why are you waking up and throwing things?
You know
We didn't
what?
throw things in my house."
He talked in my house.
Like in our house, we talked about it. Was that a dish that just flew by my head? What's going on here? Is that how we handle situations? Oh, okay. That's how you communicate. You break things. All right. And everyone's different. Because that's how, like, they saw their people take care of stuff. And this is the thing. What healthy is different for everybody. Because healthy might be to you. Well, I'm going to say that.
Go ahead and say it. It's okay. Please.
So what healthy is to you might be just what your preference is. I talked to a young brother last week.
You talked to somebody too, huh?
Yeah, I talked to somebody.
You know what, Don?
We need to start talking.
We need to start talking to people.
And when he had told me that he like, how do I say it? Can we say that on the radio?
Just don't curse. Let's keep
No
it
curse.
clean.
He said he like ghetto broads.
Oh.
That's what he said. He said he liked them straight out from Garden Valley with a card.
Well, let's not.
Why
Listen,
did he say he like ghetto bro?
Because
Wait, you said it too?
It's women.
Oh,
Ladies.
Well, I'm just bringing what he said. Oh, he liked ladies of female persuasion that were from certain urban secularities.
But
Is
it's
that
not
better
about
for people?
where you from. Okay, I'm from 79th and Superior.
We
Okay?
know that you can be from Euclid and ghetto. You
That
can
is
be
very
from
true.
Beechwood and ghetto is all get out. It
Right.
don't matter. It's all in your brain.
Yes.
That's a spirit that you keep with you everywhere.
Yes.
No matter where you go.
I
North,
know
south,
people
east,
that
or
grew up in the
west.
suburbs that act like they grew up in the down the way. But down the way, nothing wrong with down the way.
Nothing wrong with down the way.
means character.
Nothing wrong with down the way. I
You
know
got some good people
Great
You know
out
what?
here.
people
Don't try
down
to
the
clean
way.
it up. Just go ahead and go. Just finish.
But he said he just liked that trauma and that action. He just liked it. He just liked it. And I said,
We
you
need to
know
put
what?
names on blast. You know,
No,
we're
wait.
just talking about conversations that we've had over times. You know.
We keeping names undercover to protect the innocent. But I agree with him in some of my own reflective, because I said I've dated young ladies
Oh, now they young ladies.
who were nice.
he dated young ladies. The other dude like ghetto.
Let me get to it.
Go ahead, get to it.
No.
I dated some
All
young
of them
ladies
are
who were
queens.
more docile, a little more willing to go along to get along, and they just never lasted with me.
Oh, why is that?
For some reason, I liked some women who talked back and wanted to
You like them feisty.
like them feisty and strong. Now, why was that? I had to look at my own upbringing and characters and what happens. I grew up in a single family household, just me and my mama. And the only other parental people I saw was my 4 aunts, who were all single and raised all their kids by themselves.
Oh,
So those
strong.
strong women. So all my examples of womanhood were very strong, very independent women. So if
Makes sense.
so that's what when I'm picking out when I'm making picks and choices. That's what I'm picking and choosing.
Hey, that's good to you, huh?
That's what they
Little quiet,
This is
sweet
what I know.
little.
little quiet, sweet little church mouse. Nah,
I
that's
hear you.
Give me that rowdy one from King Kennedy.
I got some cheese.
That one right there.
You said you got some cheese.
Look, wait a minute. Y'all be like, look, wait a minute.
Hey,
Y'all be
hold
like,
on. Check this out, though.
go ahead.
You know, we got to get a couple of our promos in.
Go ahead.
We'll be right back.
Let's do that.
Let's do that. Is that good? You good with that, bro? All right.
Right.
Uncensored. Uncut Uncensored. Hey. That was a long break, wasn't it?
Man, let's
Ooh-wee.
jeez.
But listen, y'all, check it out. So, we're going to continue our conversation. We did all the things we need to do, all our promos. We got them out the way. So, we got a pretty good 20-something more minutes that we can do. Straight talk. Right with y'all. Yeah. So, T, where were we at? That was a long commercial. I forgot.
That was a long
Wait minute.
commercial.
It's not a commercial, it's promo.
It was a promo.
Long, I forgot.
It was a long one.
What were we
And,
talking about?
So Kane was actually talking. I think. I don't remember. My memory just as bad as yours.
Man, it's terrible.
Oh yeah.
What was that,
Yeah,
kid?
Kane was actually talking.
Oh,
Kane was
okay.
talking about the type of women he liked. And
there
he
you go.
liked the little sweet church mouse. Turns out he liked
Church mouse.
the fiery, feisty one that's ready to buck up at any given moment.
Bust your windows out your car.
You know what,
Exactly.
hey,
We
listen,
like her.
Don't put that look, man. We ain't gonna fall for that today. You went past that.
Kira
You
went back to it.
You already went past that.
No.
I think
Because before we went to break, I'm gonna let you do this, Dad.
You know, Kira
Before we
remember.
went to break, Tasha said she want to come back and ask Kane, what did he learn from that, or what did he get from
so
that?
what I'm
Or,
saying, so we went past that. She has questions. That's all I'm saying.
and why you like these young ladies, these beautiful black queens, regardless of where they're from?
Beautiful queen.
These strong, beautiful queens.
Nubian
They carry
queen.
bricks on their back, but go ahead.
So, how that affected me personally is that I would say the only drawback of that is that, again, I didn't have a good model of watching on a day-to-day basis. I've seen it every day. A couple of my really best friends, all their parents were married and are still married. They're some of my best examples ever
Right.
of what a wonderful, loving relationship is. So I took cues from there, but I didn't see it on a day-to-day, everyday process. So, and when the concept or the process, or we talk about it, how are you the man of your house? What does that even mean?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Are you the boss? Are you making all the decisions? You make all the money, so then you make all the decisions? Or are you telling people what to do, where to go? What does that really even mean? Like, how does that process, how does that come out? And if you don't see it on a day-to-day basis, it's gonna be difficult for myself. I had difficult processing what that meant. So what it would mean, it was a balance.
Yeah.
So sometimes I would give too much ground
Yeah.
and just let her do too much.
Yeah.
And other times when I try to take the ground back, now we fight. Now the swords are out.
Right.
I'm trying to take my ground back. Now I'm trying to take ground back. Now we both got the swords and axes out because now I didn't give her the ground.
Cause she feisty.
I didn't give her that ground.
Right.
I didn't give her that space. Now I'm trying to reinvade her territory at this point and try to take the ground back.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, this is my territory.
Exactly. Cause you let it go on too long.
I let it go on way,
Yeah.
so now I'm trying to take the territory back. And now it's fireworks.
Yeah.
So and you don't have that. I think you said it earlier. The grounding, the foundation
Yeah.
of how this is supposed to be established. And this is the other thing. If they didn't see it modeled,
There we go.
because this is the thing, you will have a woman tell you can be the man of the house,
Right.
and she don't know what that means herself.
At all. Yeah.
Has no clue. She thinks she knows what that means.
Yeah.
But in reality, when she starts working that out and allowing a man to be the man of the house, if she ain't see the model too much, well, she don't know.
She don't know.
She don't know either. So how you
You
expect?
don't know. You don't know.
I don't know. She don't know. Neither one of us know. So
Yeah.
now we both trying to make up like, well, I think she should do this. I think he should do that.
Yeah.
And we have our own ideas of what someone else's role is.
Yeah.
And now that role is undefined. We're trying to make it up as we're going along, and like, how does that work out? So I know me personally, there's some decisions and ground that I gave up, and then when I oh no, I'm the man of the house. I need to go over and take care of that. And now I'm trying to take back that territory that I've allowed someone to have. I'm like, nah, this is my territory. It's with anybody like that. So it's like that for me personally. I had to learn, like, okay, if you go be a man of the house, these are the basic concepts and principles that you have to go by all the time. And I think DJ said it earlier, that sometimes you just let stuff go so you won't start an argument, so
Yeah.
they won't be mad. Because let's keep that a buck, fellas. We don't like y'all mad. I'm gonna tell like every ladies, and y'all know that, but we don't want y'all mad. We don't want y'all crying. We don't want y'all upset.
Right.
Because unfortunately, that line of happy wife makes happy life I don't like that phrase because it's too gender biased. It just makes it seem like, oh, whatever the woman gets, she just run the household.
But it holds some weight.
She do, but okay.
But that's not how it's supposed to be. So, but what happens is, and this is how men have the ability to compartmentalize. I'm trying to say that right. Is that okay?
Compartmentalize.
That was the word. She's educated.
You know what?
Teach. So we were like, okay, I'll stay in this little box and be happy in this part of the house. You can have the rest. Like, you want to do it like that? Okay, you can have the kitchen out. You want the bedroom, the upstairs, the living room, what? Just give me this little space. Give me this 8x11 and I'll be good.
Man cave.
Yeah, I'm good. Because I don't want you, because women have the ability to permeate their emotions outwardly.
Yeah.
And it changes the whole vibration of the house. So now you like, she mad. So like everything's bad. Everything's bad now. So like the whole, like, you ever have somebody make you a sandwich and they don't you ever go to a fast food place, you can tell they trying to get out of there, they ain't had no care about how they made your dish. And you get to it like, who made this? Did you hate me? Like, why was this? Or you can tell when somebody made a dish with love, that's how your household is. And if you don't have a woman who's giving a vibration of love in your household, then then we start giving up all type of stuff to do that when it wasn't balanced in the first place. Because she didn't know what she was supposed to do or not do, so she just starts taking over and doing stuff, and you start letting her. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make this decision. I'm gonna tell us, oh, we could go live here. We go get this. And we go buy that. And we go do this. And like, you're like, okay, all right, and you do a bunch of head nodding. And then when a decision comes up, you're like, oh no, you put your foot down. Your foot ain't been down in 2.5 years.
You know what I'm saying?
And nobody even know what your foot sound like.
Right.
And it's too late. You trying to
What's
take
that
back around
hey,
that
what's
you
that
didn't know.
noise?
Kira had a question. What was you about to say, Kira?
Well,
Okay, so my question was, you said something about the man of the house, and what does that mean? Well, I think that's subject to the couple's own interpretation, right? Because you can have a model, but it may not fit your platform. So with this young lady that you're with, that may have worked with your mom. If you're imitating what your dad did, they may have worked with your mom. But remember, this new person that you're with, you're not with your mom. So what worked with your mom may not work with this person. So that's another area that may become confusing. Also, the boss, like, a lot of people look at marriages as one person's supposed to be the boss, but this is a partnership. We're supposed to do this together, but when one feel like they're being bossed around in all situations, and right. You don't this your first go round, and I gotta listen to you boss me around, and you're not even skilled in this area. That's when it becomes an issue. And let me see, what else did I have to say to you? Let me see. I have down here basic concepts and principles, and I don't know where I was going with that, but okay.
Wow. Well, that's deep. That is wow. So I like to hear that from both male point of view, because so often we hear these stories from a woman's point of view. Well, her father wasn't there, and she grew up in an abusive home, and we hear these stories about the women, but we never hear how marriage affects the men based on their environment. It's never really talked about. And especially, we live in a climate where there's a lot of single parents. For me, I raised a young man. He's a young man now. But, growing up, I'm pretty sure I did not equip him with the tools, all the tools, let me say, necessary, because I gave him what I had and I missed some things. But one of the things that I'm aware of and I'm very conscious of now is to make sure that I'm pouring things into him. And also, I tell him, get with this person. He'll be a great mentor for you. Because there's certain things that only a man can give a man. Absolutely. And because you have to be able to have somebody that can show you the way. But yeah, so it's really good to hear how not having certain things in the household affects marriage for men, not knowing how to communicate with their wives or their girls or their ladies, however we want to word it, if you haven't seen it. Because one thing I tell my son now, listen, you got to nip that in the bud. Because if you don't, it's going to be a runaway freight train. And you're going to try to gain control back, and it's not going to happen. Because once you relinquish, you can't give it back. Because a woman, we're going to try you. That's just what we do.
Tasha.
I'm just saying, it's uncut.
It's about relationships. About
Facts.
It's facts. I mean, come on now. We have some.
Like she said, it's easier to gain ground than it is to lose ground.
Okay.
You know, and once you lose it, it's almost impossible to get it back.
Accident
Preventive maintenance
Americans.
versus damage control.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I believe, like I tell my son, you know, it's certain things as a young man, you have to put your foot down, period. I don't care if she cry, frown, yell, you gotta put your foot down, period, because you wear the pants. You don't let no woman run you. And I tell my son that, and I'm a woman, because the last thing a woman wants is I'm gonna say it this
Soft
way.
man.
Thank you. Limp back, jelly back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But
Emotional.
crybaby.
You
Well,
said.
but that goes back to what I was saying initially. See, so we're taught to be that type of man as we grow up, to be hard, to be a certain way, to be, you know, the king, and you know, you can handle everything, and that's not actually the truth.
Right.
You know, fellas, I know we've been taught that way, and we brothers, and we supposed to be hard and everything on everything that we do, but we got to figure out a way
Yes.
to bring back this institution that we lost as we're losing as a group, you know, and that is marriage, because it is a very, very important thing, not only for your soul, but also for the souls that come up after you, and for us to teach each other to be a good wife or a good husband. We know at this age, I know, and I'm saying we, but excuse me, I know that, you know, things are going to happen, and it's going to be challenging. It's going to be, it's going to, like Tashi say, ups and downs and ebbs and flows all the time. It's gonna be that. Yeah, expect that.
Yep.
You know, I think the expectation when people come into it, they're expecting it to be rosy and all that type of stuff.
And that's the misconception.
Yeah.
I used to think that.
Yeah.
I used to think that, you know,
And-
you're supposed to wake up and it's gonna be all love, but go ahead.
Yeah. So the, you know, we have to. We know we got a lot of issues as a race when it comes to that, because, you know, let's face it, we just not. You know, we're not married to each other. You know, we're either single or we shacking up and stuff like that. But you know, we may claim the title of husband or wife, but we don't act like it and all that type of stuff. You know, it's real important for us to figure this out.
Yeah.
And you know, hopefully, I was hoping this show could be about, you know, giving some answers and things like that. But I don't think,
We can
you
real
know,
quick. I want to
okay.
also read, I'm sorry, period.
So, one thing I wanted to touch on, the part about you, Tasha, giving those pointers to your son is very important, because growing up, we become who we become based on our environment.
Absolutely.
Now, the situations may change. So, for example, I grew up in a single-parent household with my mom and brothers. I learned based on my conditioning that I need to be assertive. I need to say what I want. I need to not be shy. I used to be shy. I did. I used to be really shy.
My eyes.
I found out that shyness didn't work for me. So I became somebody else. You know what I cannot. Okay. So now my sons, they were fortunate enough to grow up in a 2-parent household. And now they're 2 different people though. Because my oldest son experienced a different side of me where I had to change that when my youngest son, once I started maturing in my marriage, I had to change that but I was still the dominant one. I still was assertive. I'm still, now I'm that person that my son is, and I'm like, dude, calm down. He's like, you're not the same person. You're not the same person that raised me.
Right.
And I'm like, what are you doing? Right.
Because you've matured.
I'm matured, but also I was that person because of my circumstances. Your circumstances are different, but it doesn't matter because I gave that to him.
Exactly.
And he don't have to be that way now.
Right. And so now you're trying to fix that
Yes.
damage control.
Damage control.
That we're trying to do. That's real, but that's going to help some people that's listening. I'm going to read one of our listeners real quick here. She said, there are too many of us who have greater expectations of others than we have for ourselves. Marriage requires all of us to understand ourselves and the mutual reciprocity necessary to support the other party. Too many of us think being in a marriage, listen people, for the people in the back, this is me speaking, not our listener. Too many of us, this is from one of our listeners, think that being in a marriage will solve our issues financially, mentally, and so on. But you cannot bring others into your mess without serious consequences taking place. You better preach it. Thank you so much for your support and listening. But that's real, because people do think that, oh, once I get married, I'm not going to feel this way, or I'm not going to have to worry about this, I'm not going to have to worry about that. So you gloss over all these issues you have, all these insecurities, these fears, these doubts, your depression, your lack of communication, all of them. I can go on and on and on, but I won't. So I want to also read this. This is from Northwestern Medicine. It's called 5 Benefits of Healthy Relationships. But before I read that, one of the things I want to share, we talked about having some answers. This isn't a one-day topic that's going to fix all. It's just something to expose the light in the dark places, because marriage is important. We are stronger together. We are better together. Marriage is designed for the light to be shined on the areas that you may have not paid attention to. And it's to make you better if you're not prideful or full of ego. And if you're willing to go through it and grow through it, you'll be a better person. So one of the things I would say for people that are married or in serious relationships heading towards marriage, and maybe y'all just in a serious relationship, y'all live together, have an accountability partner or an accountability partner. Somebody that will hold your feet to the fire if you're doing wrong. If you go left and you're supposed to go right, have somebody that is not going to be afraid to say no. Now, that's not right. Find a married person or a couple person that has a healthy marriage and take some things from that. Ask questions. Don't be so full of yourself that you think you know it all, because only a fool knows it all. Don't be. I'm just saying. If you think you know it all, that means you have no room to grow and learn. You don't. So you may as well perish. Right. Wither away and die. I'm sorry I said that. Yes, I did. But ask questions. Because if they have a healthy marriage or a healthy relationship and it's still going strong, clearly they must be doing something right. I said healthy. There's a difference. Now, so here are some of the benefits I'm going to read. Again, this is from Northwestern Medicine. Can't see. I'm getting old. I gotta take my glasses off.
My phone look glary. Your phone look glary from here.
No, it's not.
No, I'm just saying.
It's thank you for trying to. So I'm gonna paraphrase some of this. Now, these are some of the reasons why healthy relationships are necessary. Number 1 is less stress. Being in a committed relationship is linked to less production of cortisol, which is a stress hormone. So that means if you're in a healthy relationship, guess what? You won't be stressed as much. Better healing, whether it's having someone there to remind you to take your medicine or having a partner to help you take your mind off of your pain. Research says that married people who have undergone heart surgery are 3 times more likely to survive. Man.
3 times.
3 times, people. So for all the people out there that saying, I'm better by myself, I don't need nobody, lie, stop lying to yourself and stop lying to the people that's around you. You just need to do the work.
We ain't designed that way.
We are not designed that way. Now, healthier behaviors. Healthy relationships set the perfect tone for overall healthy lifestyles. If your spouse, friends, or other loved ones encourages you to eat better, diet better, exercise, not smoke, etc., you are more likely to take the suggestions and follow those footsteps. Lastly, longer life. Longer life, people. And we know black folks dropping every day faster from heart disease, high cholesterol, diabetes. I can keep going on, but I won't. Speaking of adding years to your life, research suggests that having a healthy social relationship makes a bigger impact on avoiding early death than taking blood pressure medication or being exposed to air pollution. One study even suggests that the lack of a social relationship has the same effect on a person that smokes 15 cigarettes a day.
Ooh.
So, I read all that to say, relationships are important. It's the center block of why God created us. It starts in our homes. It starts with your spouses. It starts with your kids. If you have damaged relationships out there, do some self-reflecting. Think about how you were brought up. Think about how you were raised and what did you see. Like Don said, it's not too late to change it. The first step is getting out of denial. You grew up in a dysfunctional home. Admit it and move on. Do the work. Because we all have at some degree. Just don't be ashamed of it. It is what it is. So that's all I got to say. I'm going to pass it to my peeps.
Yeah, marriage is a beautiful, wonderful, fantastic thing when done right. When done wrong, it's the opposite of those things. But you have to be willing, like she said, doing the work. And the first person you work on is you. Because you can't change them.
Absolutely.
Only them can change them. All you can do is work on you, understand who you are, and be a better person on that.
I think Tasha nailed it. And I'm going to leave it at that.
All right. Okay. Well, we're gonna wrap this show up today. Great show, great topic. Hopefully, some people got something out of this that can help them. I'm just gonna say, look, just look at you. Don't look at what you've seen, especially if you felt it wasn't right. And then just try to make it better for you and the new life that you can have with a lovely person by your side, and also for your children. Hey y'all, this is Uncut Uncensored. We about to get up out of here, y'all. Let's say bye to the folks. We'll check y'all out next time, next week. Go ahead, y'all.
We out. Peace.
Love you, Cleveland.
All right. All right.